Hello and welcome to my channel. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning from whichever part of the world you're watching me from. Today I want to talk about give my thoughts and expatiate a little bit on this popular saying that life is just not fair. I know there are a lot of things that happens in this life, that oftentimes that warrants us to make that comment. And then sometimes there are some things that what I'm trying to say is that there are some things that warrant us to make that comment, and we can say, okay, yeah, it's in one way or the other we can truly say that, like, yes, it is okay to make that comment. And then, but most times when I see people make that comment that life is not fair, and I try to understand the angle from which they are coming from, and after seeing actually the angle from where they're coming from, the question I ask myself is, in this situation, is life truly unfair? Or is what we call life not being fair a result of our own maybe carelessness or mistake, or for risk of not sounding rude or something, is it really something that we could have avoided? Is it as a result of what we ourselves have caused for ourselves? I don't know if you understand what I mean. So like always, most times the topics I talk about, the things I talk about always as a result of either a discussion that I have with somebody, or a situation that I see going on, or maybe something that happens. Then I would like to sit down, think about it, analyze it, and then I want to give my opinion concerning it. So is life truly unfair? That's the question. And then from my point of view, I say that sometimes what we call life not being fair is actually us not being fair to ourselves, us not being truthful to ourselves, us not being real to ourselves, us not being sincere to ourselves, us just living life carelessly without understanding that every action has a consequence. And oftentimes what we call unfairness of life is simply a consequence to whatever we did, whatever we brought to ourselves, if I should use that word. Don't get me wrong, a lot of things happen to us that we do not have control about, that we cannot control. That is not the angle that I'm saying it. Take for instance, like I said recently, I came in contact with somebody who was actually, complaining about a lot of things that's going on around her and everything like that, different things from marriage to children, from this, so in the course of me understanding what is going on, I try to dig a little deeper into situations around this individual, and then I understood that part of the problem that this individual has was that there was a certain time in her life that she actually, for whatever reason, neglected some of the things that she was supposed to be doing at that point in time. And then in the long run, that particular action cost her what she's going through at this point in time. And now, because the thing is no longer to her favor, she now cried to the world that life is not just fair. But in the reasons of it, sincerely speaking, you will see that whatever that she considers life not being fair is as a result of just carelessness, negligence, and oftentimes when things like that happen, people advise, but sometimes we don't take their advice. It's just like somebody who out of carelessness, maybe you have a good relationship going on with you, you have something going on with you, and out of sheer carelessness, out of this how do I put it, out of this just I don't know what word to use, maybe carelessness, so to say. You refuse to understand that when you have something precious in your hand, maybe a relationship or maybe a business venture, an idea or something, that it is your prerogative, it is your duty, you owe it to yourself to preserve that thing, to cherish it, to nurture it, so that you will be able to enjoy the outcome of the benefit. That's what I'm looking for, the benefit of that thing that you have. Do you understand what I'm saying? But sometimes we, maybe let's take for instance something like a relationship. You have a relationship, you become to, you know, there's this popular saying that familiarity breeds contempt, right? So some people, maybe out of too much of familiarity, they become too familiar with whoever they're in relationship with. They don't you know, value that relationship anymore. They don't treat it the way it should be. They don't nurture it the way it should be. And before you know what is happening, they lose that relationship. And maybe somewhere down the line, they begin to see that that thing that they could not cherish, could not nurture, could not hold on to, that someone else, you know, eventually picked it up, brushed it off, shined it out, you know, brought out the beauty in it, and now the person is enjoying it, and they're seeing it like, oh, life is not fair. How come this person has this and I don't have that? But you forgot that at some point in your life, the same life you are accusing of not being fair, gave you that thing on a platter of gold, gave it to you, but out of carelessness, out of ignorance, oh, I don't know the word to use, you refused to cherish it, you refused to nurture it, you refused to, you know, use it to the best, to bring out the best in it so that you'll be able to enjoy it. Now you let it go, and now you are coming back to cry over that same thing, to say that life is not fair. And I ask myself, is life truly unfair? I know a friend that was in a very beautiful relationship with this, you know, person. She was just, the relationship was, you know, everything that every woman desires. But somewhere along the line, because of, for whatever reason, I don't know, gradually, she lost this relationship. 14, 15 years down the line, now she sees that particular man in a beautiful relationship with another woman. She is still here, still licking her wound, not married, not having anything, you know, I mean, not what she wanted to do. Then somehow, somewhere along the line, she ran into this old friend, and then with whoever the wife is to this man right now, and it happens to be somebody that she knew from her past, that she considered a nobody. But now seeing this person with this old friend of hers, how this individual has been transformed, because now she is in this relationship with this young man who was everything to her, but because of carelessness, because of, you know, her own would I say short-sightedness? I don't know if I'm looking for the best word to use. She lost that relationship, and now she came lamenting that life is just fair. Can you imagine this person that was this in school? Can you imagine this person that was a nobody? Can you imagine enjoying this kind of life? And look at me that was this, me that was that, me that was this. Look at me. And my question is, was life really unfair to you? Don't you think that what you call life being unfair is you not being fair to life? Because life gave you what you needed. Life gave you what you should have cherished, nurtured, enjoyed. But what did you do? You decided to trample upon it. Trample upon it because you think that whatever, I don't know what it is. You lost it. And when you were losing it, you saw that coming. Life must have given you signs that, look, you are gradually losing this thing. But then you didn't do what you were supposed to do. And now, years back, you're saying that life is not just fair. How come somebody like me cannot be here? But this person who is a nobody is there. Life is not just fair. Or maybe this, you know, like when I sit down to think about it, I don't know, for anyone that is watching this video, have you ever heard someone say, use this word, life is not just fair? Have you tried to find out what prompted that comment? Sit down and really think of it and analyze what prompted that comment. And ask yourself, was it really about life not being fair? Or was it that this person had something? It was not just fair to life. Let me use that word. It was not just fair to life. That life that was so magnanimous to give you that thing. But for some reason, you did not do what you were supposed to do with it. You did not cherish it. You did not nurture it. You did not appreciate it. You lost it. And now you come back to say that life is not just fair. Don't get me wrong. There are some things that have, I know there are some things that have, but in my life that I've said once or twice, say it's not just fair to say, you know. But I only say that when it comes to things that I could not control. It's something like, you know, example is like when I lost siblings, you know, because I've lost siblings. When I talk my siblings, I said, this is not just fair. Why should this happen? That is something beyond my control. But oftentimes, the things that are within our control, how much do we put in our best to hold on to that thing? Because the truth about it is that in as much as we think that life is not fair, oftentimes life gives us things present to us, things that we need in order to make the best of this life. How much do we nurture them? How much do we cherish them? How much do we appreciate those things to get the best out of them, so that we don't come back down the line many years later to fill our lives with regrets, crying that life is not fair to us? Just think about it. Just think about this. You know, I was just going through this and I began to, that's just what prompted me to make this video, to ask, is life really all the time not just fair? Or sometimes what we call life not being fair is a result of our own carelessness, that we're not being fair to life, who gave us everything that we need, that we neglected, and now we turn back to claim that life is not fair. And somebody will always ask, who is this life after all? Just like my child will always ask me, people always talk about Mother Nature. Mommy, who is Mother Nature? So, I mean, that's just the way I think about it. I don't know. But if you have anything to say about what I just said, then just leave your comments at the comment section. With this, I'll say thank you for watching. Bye-bye.